guys, it's Harry on Read Tomes, and I'm bringing you the first of many book reviews. This book review is going to be on To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's an American classic, to say the least, and I did enjoy this book. I've got a fair few things to say about it. It's 309 pages long in the UK version. This is the 50th edition book cover, which is done by Glenn O'Neill, and I really personally like the design. That's why I picked up this cover instead of the full black version that we have here in the UK. The basic story in this book is about Scout, who's an 8-year-old girl living in Alabama in the 1930s in the Great Depression era. There's also a lot of interaction with her brother Jem. There's a lot of interaction with the father and a bunch of other great characters. This is one thing this book does have. It's got a bunch of amazing characters and it's well written. The description of the town is something that I found very interesting, and then Scout's viewpoint on, say, the summers and the winters. Like, there's one key point in the book where it starts snowing for the first time. She freaks out thinking it's the rapture and the end of the world and all that, and that's probably my favourite point in this entire book, which is a little bleak to say, with the hard-hitting story of the court case and the rape of a young white girl, which is the main plot in this is Atticus, their father, is a lawyer, and he's defending this black man who has been accused of raping this white girl. Basically, this develops through the entire story, and there's a bunch of different characters that interact with Scout and Jem, and it basically shapes their childhood and their viewpoint for the rest of their lives, or at least that's what I got from the book. It's a very hard-hitting story, and I found it difficult to get in. I found it a little dry and stale at points, so it took me a couple of days to read through it. I feel that another reason why I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought I was going to was because everywhere I looked, from Waterstones to Goodreads to Amazon, it all had raving reviews, and it's always selling very well and always on people's to read and stuff like that. So I went into it with an expectation it was going to be this outstanding book, which, to be fair, it is very well written and the story outstanding in every single way. The characters are great, it's just I couldn't relate to it enough. That's what pulled it down a lot for me. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. I'd like to know your opinions on what you thought as well reading it, if you had to read it in school, as I know that some people in America have to, or it's just one of the books on the curriculum. I personally couldn't get into it. It's not really my type of book. I'm not really a classic reader. I'd like to get into it more and read some other stuff. To Kill wasn't exactly the best book I've ever read. It's definitely the sort of book I'd recommend to people. It's definitely a must-read. You must read this book. Find some time at some point to read it and then shape your own views on it. I believe it's more of an American book. I'm not sure if this is true. I'd like to know what you people in America who've read this book thought of it, because since I was from the outside, then I can't really picture the whole 1930s. I don't really know much about that era myself to do with America and Alabama, but the whole racial thing I sort of picked up on. I can sort of get into that, etc. But the way that these kids are just brought up with these ideas that racism was okay back then is something that I found very shocking in this book, and it was something that was difficult to get my head around at first because that's completely different to how I was raised. It's an interesting book. I'd give it a read. Personally, I didn't enjoy it that much, as I've said. I found it dry and slow in parts. For me, a good book is typically come from the characters. My favourite character in the book was Atticus, the kid's father, and just some of the lines he said and the inspirational talks with other people and the way they respected him, and Scout had a couple of fallouts with him. I just found that very interesting, and I like how it further developed their bond. I preferred Scout's bond to Atticus than Scout's bond to her big brother Jem. Out of a rating scale, I'd probably give this book 3 out of 5. For the point, I found it a little dry, but it didn't just reach the 4 mark for me because I like the characters. I like the characters a lot. Scout and Atticus, as I've said. I couldn't understand them enough. I couldn't relate to them enough to push it over into the 4 out of 5. So I give this a 3 out of 5, and I definitely recommend it to everyone. This has been my review on To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I definitely recommend it. It is a must read. Now that that's out the way, this is just the next little bit. I've just ordered a bunch more books, so my next video is more than likely going to be a book haul, which will be out sometime this weekend. I'm hoping for a Saturday push, but it's going to be a busy weekend, so I'll try my best, and please like and subscribe and all that great stuff, and I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.